Good morning. Welcome to Buster Bottom Outdoors. Uh, Thought we'd give you another little story. I'm out here with the wife at the dentist. Got some time to kill. Hadn't posted nothing in a week or two, so I figured what better time to do it than now. If you like my stories or my videos, please subscribe, like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. Like I said before, this is all new. We're trying to get things worked out. So hunting season's coming up. Been doing some scouting. Went a couple different places. Maybe a little potential here and there. We're gonna do some hunting up in National Forest coming up. I don't know. I guess about the second week of October. Maybe have some video of that. Hopefully, we'll see. But anyway, got a little story I want to tell you. You know, I've been telling you about rabbit. If you've not watched the stories, you need to go on my page here and watch a few of them. And the past couple's been about rabbit. This one's about me and how stupid I can be sometimes. We was hunting at this farm in Bedford County. We always called it Horns Cattle Farm. Great big old place. Had about I don't know, it was 100 and some acres, maybe more. A little bit of patch of woods. The woods that I hunted was along the creek, and the path went up towards Rabbit Spot. It split off and it went up towards Rabbit Spot. And where I was hunting, when I was up in the tree stand, depending on which way you look down the creek, you could see a long ways, and then everything around me close by was a thicket. And I'd seen some deer in there, and the problem I was having was, usually when I seen a deer, if I took my rifle, I hunted with a open sight 30-30, and it was a Marlin Gold Trigger. And if I took my rifle, they was all in the thicket and I could get a shot at them. If I took a shotgun, they was all down the creek in the open, too far away to get a shot on them with the shotgun. So I decided I was going to be smart, and I was going to take both, shotgun and rifle. And this is back when climbing tree stands had just come out. You know, before that, everybody always built the tree stands, you know, out of plywood or boards or whatever. But climbing stands come out. We had one of the new fandangled stands. It was called a Baker tree stand. And they tried to kill me 2 or 3 times by dropping me out of a tree. And so anyway, on the Baker stand, it just, you know, it fit around the tree, had a little angle like this that fit around the tree, and it dug into the tree, had like a little blade on it. And the bottom section of it was the same way, and it just kind of set down on the tree, and you'd raise it up and set it down, raise it up and set it down, just like your climbing stands nowadays. It has cables and stuff, but it didn't dig into the trees quite as well, and it made me nervous. And back then, I was a lot younger, a lot fitter, and so it wasn't quite as bad as it would be now. Anyway, my fix to the situation, because you could get up in there and set your stand, and then next thing you know, it would slide down the tree 5 or 6 foot So my fix to that was I was going to put mine over a limb. After this particular hunt, I started taking a screw peg. We had screw pegs back in, which was something else that had come out. But I started putting a screw peg underneath it. But anyway, I was going to set up in this big old oak tree. And so I climbed up in the oak tree and I put my stand over top of this big limb. And so I figured I was pretty safe there. So I went in that morning before daylight. Me and Rabbit, Ernie, we all went in the same direction. And Rabbit split off to go to his spot. Ernie went on his way. And I started climbing up in my stand. I got up in my stand and I started pulling the guns up. I got the guns up and I had just taken the rope off of my guns and I had a gun in each hand like this. And I heard a big crack pop. And you know, in your mind, you're like, what in the world was that? Well, before my mind could really figure out what it was, that big limb broke off and that tree stand went to the bottom of the tree. Now, even back then, we wore safety belts. People that don't wear them are fools. But back then, the safety belts wasn't like they are now. They wasn't the big harness type, you know, and all the nice comfort that goes through your legs and everything. Back then, it was just a belt. It was a belt that went around you and it hooked to the tree behind you. And this one had a big old buckle on it like this. And when that stand went down, I went down. I was holding those guns and that belt slid right up my chest and had my arms pinned above my head like this because it was up underneath here. And that buckle dug in right about my navel and went all the way up my chest and got up to right around here or so. And there I hung. Wasn't nothing I could do. I was pretty much stuck. Had a gun in each hand, couldn't drop a gun. They was both loaded. You know, I was afraid to drop them because I was afraid, one, I didn't want to tear my gun up. Two, I didn't want it shooting me if it went off. So I was just hanging there trying to figure out what in the hell I was going to do. Now, like I said, Rabbit was on up above me. He was heading on up trail there. So about 15, 20 minutes went by. I done just tried to swing around. I tried to do everything I could do. I was trying to pull down to get the pressure off of me. And I wasn't having much success. So I was hanging there and I heard something. I looked up and here came Rabbit walking back down the path. And he got down there to me, and it, like I said before, you had to know Rabbit. He was kind of a funny guy. And he walked down there and he looked up at me and he said, "Hey, Grease, what you doing?" I said, "I'm just hanging around, Rabbit, just hanging around." We had a little bit of a laugh, you know. And he said, "Is there anything that I can do to help you?" I said, "Well, I don't know what to do, really." I said, I can't get my arms down." I said, maybe if you could toss your rope up to me and somehow I could catch it. I said, "I think I can get my gun over to, my 30-30 had a strap on it." So I said, "I think I can get it over to where I can hold both guns in one hand." So I did that, and after about 2 or 3 tosses and, the rope hitting me upside the head and everything else, he finally got the rope up to me, and I caught it with my hand that was free, and I managed to, with my hands over my head, I managed to tie the rope onto the guns and lower the guns down to Rabbit. And then I had to wiggle and swing and carry on to where I could get back up to the tree, because mind you, my back was against the tree, or towards the tree. So I had to turn around so I could get the pressure off my arms. So I did some wiggling and wobbling there, and finally got enough pressure off my arms to where I could unhook the safety belt and turn around, and I had to slide down the tree, kind of hug the tree and slide down the tree. And once I got down the tree, I was all tore up. I mean, I had tree rash all down my arms, all down my chest and my legs, my knees, and I had a big old gash right up the center of me where that safety belt had dug into me. But, you know, the moral to the story is, without the safety belt, I could have been seriously injured. You know, it may not have killed me. I wasn't maybe 15 foot in the air. You know, it could have. I guess I could have landed on my head or hit a stick or something and rammed it through me or whatever. But it didn't kill me. You know, I was hurt, but I was alive, and I was able to walk back out of there without having an ambulance or anything come to get me. So the safety belt saved me. So for all you hunters out there that don't wear a safety belt, I'm telling you, you never know what's going to happen. I thought I was safe. I was over a big limb. There was no way that my tree stand was going to fall out of that tree, but it did. So without the safety belt, could have been a really bad situation. So, as we say here, life's about choices. It's up to you to make the right ones and the wrong ones, and live with the ones you make. That day, I lived with the ones I made. So, if you enjoyed the story, hit like, hit share, tell your friends, and we'll see you next time at Buster Bottom Outdoors.